Hello, Remo. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. I know here at PASIC you're so busy with everything that you do in life and everything you've done in life. And I mean, to me, you're a man of vision. Ever since I've known you, ever since I could think musically, I know you've always had the vision. What in your mind, and you never stop, even at a, whatever edge you happen to be, you never stop thinking and promoting, and not promoting is not a good word, is promoting thought and thinking in how to push the envelope musically and philosophically. Where do you see this going, and what drives you to do this?
Is this thing on? Okay. What drives me? I've asked myself that same question from time to time, and I guess there is a profound interest in me that develops that asks me to go into areas that I had not been educated for or prepared for, or so on and so forth. It's just that now, in the 86 years that I've been alive, and I've been privileged to witness what I have, Aldo, it's very interesting on what's happened to the drum and the use of the drum and the use of music in general. And what's been more interesting to me, that for what I've been able to accomplish otherwise, I started off as a professional jazz musician, and this is the only thing that I ever prepared to do. What I'm doing now, I'm totally unprepared for, and some things that just came up. What's interesting for me is also yourself and the real good work that you do in
Thank you.
establishing the use of the drum. No, I follow you quite a bit. I read where you are and how you are, so on and so forth. What I think you're going to be interested in, and you and I talked about it before just briefly, the role of the drum as connected we humans is now as profound as it ever is going to be. We are now, with 20 years worth of work and a lot of energy and amount of research that's gone into it, things that can be validated as we are just rhythmically connected. And that's basically what it's all about. You can throw all the other components of music in that you want, and they're all wonderful, the melodies, the harmonies, and so on and so forth. But rhythmically is where we are all profoundly connected. And that's basically what we respond to. So it's very interesting to be there. And the research that we've been doing that has to do with the use of rhythm is will soon be publicly made, more so than it is even now.
Interesting that you say that. I mean, we've always spoken of rhythm as being the universal language. I mean, those of us who are fortunate enough to travel the world and meet all kinds of people who are doing great things, and I can walk into a place in Japan, or walk in anywhere on the planet, whether it be Korea, Australia, or wherever. The moment you start speaking rhythm, everybody understands. And I've done always the experiment. You walk in, not saying a word, you play. All of a sudden, the communication is instantly there. But also from the point of view, what leaves us, what is the impression, or what do we come away with when we're speaking with somebody artistically, musically, or people who are not even at the level that we after we've played for 30, 40, or 50 years. How do we touch somebody? And I know I'm getting to another question here. I know in the early stages of the Plastic Head, I mean, you were really involved in that, and that was a practical thing. Now, is it still a practical thing or an emotional thing that you're getting at with all your new developments? I know you're doing a lot of great development in all kinds of areas, reaching out to areas that you explained to me earlier that most people haven't thought of. They're there, we see it, but not a great deal of energy has been put into bringing it out in the open. Like, is it? We started with the Plastic Head as a practical idea, and it certainly changed the world with everything we play. But now this is practical, but it's more than that. What is that?
Well, I just happened to be fortunate enough to get married into the caregiving business. So being married to a physician being married to a physician that was in the integrative medicine field, it had just expanded my mind, because I think I went to as many medical meetings as I did musical meetings. So I walked away, and I had the good fortune of listening to a lot of research, and a lot on that industry is constantly looking for how can we take care of something, or how can we make something better, and so on and so forth. So this now, the whole idea of caregiving is like the biggest thing that there is, period, above. So I made it a purpose to try to see if there's a truly relationship between the use of music, the components of music, to the well-being industry, to that whole thing, because we were always connected maybe to the entertainment business. Now, where else could we take it? Where else could we go? What is our really true value? And I'll be darned if it isn't really where I've now shared with you that the rhythm of life is really a profound subject. And now we have, for the first time, going to be introducing the use of rhythm as an essential part of education and the essential part of living. You'll see over the next 5 or 10 years, life is going to change.
No, that's interesting, because I mean, I know it, and we know it as drummers, that when we're playing, we're totally in a different mindset. Our brain is connected differently. We think differently. For example, I know that I think in three-dimensional. I see things differently. I always thought everybody did. But those people who are involved in a rhythmic, the rhythmic world, we know that what happens to us. But later on, when we don't do this professionally or for another reason, we know that heals the brain, that heals other things. So I totally understand where you're coming from, but making it more available and understood, that's huge. I think you're still the visionary and trying to push this envelope, because at your age, you don't really need to do that, but you have that need to make people understand, because you get it and you say, we have to do something with this, because it is a big deal, really. And as the population grows older and still keeps young, we have to keep this wellness also in our state of mind, right?
That's right. So we drummers will keep on going, right, Aldo?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.